Giorgia Meloni is back in the news again, everyone's favorite girl boss fascist and prime minister of Italy, telling all of us lesser beings that it's childish to think that there's a choice between the European Union and Donald Trump. Giorgia Meloni was the only European leader invited to the Trump inauguration. She is a regular at conservative conferences happening around the world nonstop, hosted by the friends, allies, and backers of the Donald Trump project and the global MAGA movement that is infiltrating countries around the world. And for some reason, European leaders still seem to think there's a mystery of where she stands when it comes to the global fascist movement and democracy. Meloni herself in the interview says that she stands with J.D. Vance and his attacks upon European democracy and his defense of free speech. Georgia, like most other far-right figures, is on an anti-woke crusade, but she wants to reassure people that Trump is only going after, quote, ruling class. And the idea is that instead of reading reality and finding ways to give answers to people, you can impose your ideology on people. It shouldn't surprise you then that Georgia has come out against retaliatory tariffs against the Trump administration's global trade war. She joins Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, as the only European leaders who still think they can magically whip up a good trade deal with Donald Trump after he's already made up completely false reasons for tariffing them in the first place. Not only that, Georgia has become the major booster for Trump's peace deal in Ukraine and has been pushing back upon any plans from any other European powers to try to make their own peace agreements or security guarantees, including the French and British proposal to have a reassurance force in Ukraine. This means that she is now standing with the Trump administration on tariffs, on free speech, on democracy, and also on the war in Ukraine. One that a peace deal looks nothing more than creating two colonies in Ukraine, one for the US and one for Russia right now. And Georgia, along with the Spanish government of all people, have decided to come out hard against the rearm EU plan, throwing such a huge tantrum that they had to rename the plan because Spanish MEPs and Italians were decided that it would be too alarmist to make people actually afraid that there might be a real war happening in Europe soon. I keep hearing politicians say that everything changed after the Munich Security Conference and that everything has changed again now with the global trade war by the Trump administration, but governments like Spain's and the UK seem to be living in a parallel reality where neither the full-scale invasion of Ukraine happened or the literal Munich Security Conference. At the same time, we still seem to be playing the fantasy game that the fashionable fascists from Italy, because they're charming and smile well, is someone that we can be allies with, when they repeatedly show us and tell us that they are not our allies, they are with our opponents, and that they would rather see what Donald Trump and J.D. Vance have in America brought to Europe.